You know, the smartphone definitely has changed the world, but not always in the best ways. Hey everybody, it's EdTheTrainer. And you know, technology can be great, but what's the cost? That's what's coming up right on the other side on this week's Tips on Tuesday. Lots of us would probably agree that if we lose our phones, we lose our heads. They become such an integral part of our lives that mostly help to keep us organized and connected. But is constantly being connected preventing you from connecting? A couple of weeks ago, I had a casual meeting with a business associate, both of us glad to be able to finally get some time to spend together. There wasn't really an agenda. We were just really catching up. And before I knew it, we'd been trading laughs and ideas for almost 3 hours. All of a sudden, it seemed like we both realized that it had gotten pretty late. On my drive home afterward, I reflected that the entire time that we spoke, his phones were buzzing and ringing off the hook. His desk phone every few minutes and his cell, sitting just outside of his reach on the same desk, was vibrating seemingly every 30 seconds or so. But not once did he get up to grab those calls, nor did he even seem distracted by the fact that the phones were ringing off the hook. Remember, this is a casual setting, so I certainly wouldn't have been offended if he had gotten up at least to check the caller ID. But not once. Not in nearly 3 hours. As I drove away that night, I couldn't help but think how hardly anyone gives their undivided attention like that anymore these days. My wife and I, we try to have a rule at the dinner table or when we go out to eat that there are no electronics at the table. It's mainly a rule for the kids, but we try to follow it as well on a date night in particular. It's very difficult, so we usually will establish ahead of time which one of us is going to bring the phone on the date in case the sitter calls. And short of an occasional check for an emergency text or a missed call, we've decided that we'd prefer to be disconnected when it's time to connect. Sadly, as you probably can imagine, it takes a lot of effort and discipline on our end. But it's important to us that we focus our attention and be present when we can. Do these examples sound familiar at all to you? Is it an enormous struggle for you to put down your cell phone? Would you even go so far as to say you might be addicted to using your phone? Think about it. How could your relationships benefit by you being more present when you can? Doing all you can to be focused even for a short period of time when you're interacting with your clients or your business partners or even the teams within which you work. And did I mention your significant others? It's hard. I know. I struggle with it all the time, but let's make a pact this week, at least once a day, to turn the phone over, or at least turn it on to vibrate for one meeting, one conversation that day. Be present for even the shortest period of time when you can. It'll make a noticeable difference to that other person. Do you have any pet peeves when it comes to cell phone use? Or do you have any rules that you try to stick by yourself? Let me know in the comments section below, and we'll select one of you randomly for a special surprise. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me again today, everybody. I really appreciate your tuning in. I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you soon.